Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to give you a brief status of where we are currently in the quarter. As we in the middle of Module 7, we've been looking at the topic of external auditing and the type of different audits, whether it's performance or financial audit. And here, the focus for the last few weeks has really been on managing the internal controls of an organization, and for that reason, to secure and to ensure that financial management is effective, that it is effectively done. And one way to kind of look at this topic of auditing is almost the cumulus, or the final piece in the process of the internal control mechanism. Now, there are a couple different ways to think about this, or views of thought, where internal controls, I focused on this heavily, and I think if you read the text of other books, the focus on internal control is pretty sound and pretty strong. However, in practice, it becomes, and you probably acknowledge this and realize this, it becomes exceptionally difficult to manage the internal control mechanism of your organization in such a way that nothing negative is going to occur. The internal control process is simply that. It's a process that strong organizations are committed to, and the financial management is successful as a result. But on the other hand, it's something that you cannot focus 90 or even 50% of your day on, because otherwise there are other key elements to the fiscal management of your organization that really take precedence. So while we do focus heavily on this, it is seen as a tool for you as a public manager to utilize and to rely upon, and to have a sound and a firm background in. However, when you go into the field, and particularly if you're working in the finance department, you'll notice that it's really a small component of your everyday work. Now, as we conclude Module 7, we'll move on into Module 8, and the topic there is capital budgeting and debt administration. Actually, Modules 8 and 9 kind of focus on the same thing. Module 8 is a broad overview of capital budgeting and debt financing, and then Module 9 will actually get into some key examples, and in particular a key component of debt administration, something that has really overtaken the state of California over the last few years. Finally, there's been legislation to kind of curb this unwieldy behavior, but that will be in Module 9. And essentially, we're moving away from this internal control component of the course and looking at capital budgeting and debt administration, two areas that I think are probably a little bit more interesting, and things that I like to talk about. Now, I do want to keep you in mind, or I want you to keep in mind, that your fiscal policy reports are coming up, and I hope that you've begun the process of researching and reviewing literature, and thinking about the city or the counties that you aim to focus on in your report. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact me and let me know what your questions are regarding the report. It tends to be more of policy analyst type of report, and in the past, some students have had I guess some challenges in terms of understanding the goal of the report and what it's actually looking for. So be sure that you're clear on the expectations. If you're not, and even if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or an email, and I'd be happy to walk you through the process, and even show you exemplary examples of past fiscal reports. And with that, we'll continue on for the rest of the quarter, and we're almost at the end. So it's been fun thus far, and I look forward to another few weeks with you all virtually, and as we conclude this quarter in this class on financial management.